The song Der Heimliche Aufmarsch, The Secret March, is a German propaganda song. The song was originally a poem by Ernest Weiner called Der Heimliche, written in 1927, but Ernst Bursch reinterpreted it in 1931. During the rise of the Nazi Party in Germany, music and politics were mixed together to form propaganda. This pure music, as they referred to it, called out what they thought was inferior to them, and it transmitted the Nazi ideology to the people. Hitler himself was an artist and felt that art and music were a vital part of life and culture. Some of the lyrics go, the coal and steel producers whisper. It whispers, chemical war production. This is making reference to the Soviet Union in World War II. New weapons were used for the first time, and gases, atomic bombs, coals, and steel were mass produced in the Industrial Revolution, which led to new weapons. Then, mobilization against the Soviet Union is whispered from all continents. Smash the fascists, robber armies, set all hearts on fire. East Germans were against the Axis powers and against Germany. Finally, plant the workers' red flag on every ramp or of every factory. This is referring to the communist flag. There was a rise of anti-war and Hitler at the time. There was a lot of poverty too. So this is why they were talking about coal and steel. It is an emblem of communism. The industrial workers and the working class are calling for a union against the Nazi Party.
God bless America.
God Bless America is a song for all Americans, written by Irving Berlin in 1980, but it was kept a secret later, modified for Kate Smith to perform 20 years later, in 1938. Berlin wrote the song at Camp Upton for it to be the finale of Yip Yip Yap Hunt, which was later discarded since Berlin didn't find it to be the correct time. 20 years later, returning to London, Berlin was finishing a song called Thanks America, which turned out really bad, for which he returned to God Bless America and modified some of its lyrics to be more fit to the new time. For example, the meaning of the word right was used to recall what is correct, and at that time it now meant a different thing. Sites.
There are Heimlich Aufmarsch differences. It makes reference to the fascists and the reference to the Soviet Union. It is a socialist and communist song. It talks about workers teaming up to stop the Nazi and Germany. Also Italy. It talks about the lower working class.
God Bless America doesn't explicitly reference a side. It has border references, and it is a leftist song. It talks about appreciation to the country and looks for unity within the country to generate strength against the Soviet Union.
There are Heimlich Aufmarsch differences. It makes reference to the fascists and the reference to the Soviet Union. It is a socialist and communist song. It talks about workers teaming up to stop the Nazi and Germany. Also Italy. It talks about the lower working class.
God Bless America doesn't explicitly reference a side. It has border references, and it is a leftist song. It talks about appreciation to the country and looks for unity within the country to generate strength against the Soviet Union.
And similarities. They are propaganda songs, both are against the Axis powers, and they are both patriotic songs.
Both songs were adaptations, and the new version is about the war. Both songs wanted to defend something. The German song, the communism and the working class, and the American song, their country and soldiers. Time-wise, God Bless America was written in 1980, 13 years before Der Heimliche Aufmarsch, which was written in 1927. As for the interpretations, the Germans were first in 1931, and Americans 7 years later in 1938.
Der Heimliche Aufmarsch came out 8 years before the war in 1931. At this time, the Nazi regime was starting to rule over Germany, and there was a lot of anti-Semitism, and Hitler was about to rule over Germany. By 1912, the Sozialdemokratische Partei Deutschlands, Social Democratic Party of Germany, was the largest party in the Reichstag, the German parliament. The peak of the Socialist Party was in 1932, and the Socialists won the parliament election. 6 months later, Hitler seized power and banned any other political parties that were Nazi. The Nazis imprisoned communists at Dachau.
Although not originally a war song, God Bless America became affected by the course of history, having changes in its lyrics and their meaning. Both songs enlightened the strengths of their country and demonstrated their outlooks on ideas they had, not only showcased in their lyrics, but also their history of composition and the overall style of the song and singing.